Hello and welcome to Adobe Live from the Sofa here in the UK, where we are every weekday from 12 until 1. And if you're joining us on YouTube, that's fine, you can do that. But the discussion takes place on behance.net/Adobe Live. So if you want to ask questions of myself or today's guests, that's where you can do it and get involved with our community. And also, the conversation doesn't end with the stream because we have our Discord as well, where you can join us there and continue chatting throughout the day, the weekend. There are no limits. So today we are joined by Alex Jenkins. Hello, Alex. How are you?
Hi, everyone. I'm well, thank you. How are you?
Yeah, good. It's all good. And I think everybody's doing okay here. Let's just have a quick shout out to some of the guests that we've got. So we've got Robert, we've got Andreas. Hello, Andreas. Catherine's here. Jackie, Sandrine, Gareth. We've got Robert, sure. Tim's, of course, always hanging around in the background, our little rescue and purveyor of links and all sorts of stuff. We've got Rye and many more. So there, and Kirsty's here, of course. Some of these people, Alex, actually join us every single day. It's amazing.
Yeah,
and
thanks
I think
so much for your such commitment to the cause, you know, to the creative cause. Yeah,
really good. So for people who haven't met you before, Alex, or seen you or your work, let's shall we have a minute to find out who is Alex Jenkins and what does Alex Jenkins do? How does that sound?
That sounds perfect. Cheers, mate. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to quickly show you a very brief presentation. It's very basic, so there's no fireworks or effects, but let's go straight in. And here we are. So my name's Alex Jenkins. I'm a freelance illustrator. I've been illustrating for about 5 years now. I graduated in 2015. These are just some examples of my work. You can see it's a little bit garish and a bit colourful. I think an element that was always sort of present in my work is humour, and maybe a sort of slightly macabre sense of humour with that too, and maybe a slightly sinister undertone, which hopefully doesn't reflect in my personality. Yeah, I'm just going to run you through some examples. Here's something. There you go. Look.
Oh, cool.
This is what we're all striving for in the distance, the Adobe land of milk and honey.
There you are.
Just some other examples too of work. So yeah, so these are just some illustrations. These are probably older bits of work here as well. I think it's important to try and progress as you go along, or not progress, but also try new things too. So I created a lot of sort of standard illustrations which were which I worked with before, and then I moved more recently into comics, which I'll give you an example of here. So 4-panel comics, 9-panel comics, 6-panel comics.
Wow.
There we are. Just to show you some story here. And it's great because they allow you to work with narrative, and it opens up your mind in a different way of working.
I love, do you know, I've got to ask you, just while you're going through this, have you seen The Midnight Gospel on Netflix?
I started watching it the other day, yeah. I just watched the first few episodes. Yeah, it's great, right?
Right, yeah.
It's really good. And really
just
colourful, the colours they use and the textures.
Yeah. Some synergy there with some of your work.
Yes, I have heard that before, actually. I mean, I wish I could get to that kind of level that they're on, but hopefully one day. Also animations too. But it's really not. I really like the palette that they use, and it's
very vibrant.
Very vibrant. And
it's made for screen only, that one.
And imaginative as well, of course.
Yeah.
And here's another comic here, just to give you some examples. The idea that was going to be something like Facebook. You can see
I get it. Love it.
And there's one more. So this was probably in the last 2 years I worked more with comics and sort of panels. There we go. See, it's always a bit silly. It's not always everyone's cup of tea, but you know.
Well, there's a couple of people saying we love the humour, so you know,
and this is more recently. I'm attempting to go into animation now. I'll do it on Photoshop. I'll do it frame by frame. I need to learn After Effects yet. It seems like a whole new complex world. And just some examples of animation. Careful with the volume as well. It might be really loud. But
okay.
There's one.
Deep.
Yeah, very deep. There's another one. So at the moment, I mean, they're kind of just loops. Hopefully I'll be able to map out and complete something which is a lot longer and makes more sense. But this is just more experimenting at this stage of animation. But just to give you guys an example of what I do anyway. So,
you know, a couple of things there. Firstly, you might find that After Effects has a lot in common with Photoshop. So you might actually know more than you think you already know about After Effects already. Yeah. And also,
sorry.
Go on, no, carry on.
I was going to say I mean, I've got to be honest with you. I haven't attempted to delve into it yet, so I think I'm always a bit intimidated by going into something completely new. So I think going off your advice, I think maybe I just need to do it, and you'll see that things sync up as you go along.
Yeah, we actually had that on a stream on one of my streams here, just a couple of weeks or so ago, I think. And that shows you there's a lot in common with that. And also, Photoshop was used in the Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse movie. It was a big component of it. Really? So you know, it's a valid tool.
Was that a live action film, or was that
it was a mixture of rotoscoping and drawn animation?
So rotoscoping, that would make sense, right? That's perfect. Photoshop would be perfect for the rotoscoping aspect of it. Yeah. Here's one where it's short animation anyway. They're all attempting to be deep, but they don't quite pull it off.
Yeah. I like it. It's clean, really clean.
Yeah, just using the certain brushes on Photoshop, and then I just go for a basic fill. I think when you're animating, you don't want to be too detailed at this point as well. And sort of adding, I don't like to add shading at the moment until I learn how to animate more. And I think After Effects would be perfect for the shading element of your animation. So I think you can shade everything all in one go. I think there's a way of doing that. There are so many different workflows that you can do to achieve things with effects and texture. You can do lots of stuff. Actually, Kirsty Hepworth has just reminded me about how I normally refer to After Effects. Thank you very much, Kirsty, for that. I normally refer to it, Alex, if this is any help, as Photoshop on wheels. So there's quite a lot in there that's very, very similar. It just looks scary, but it's fine. So I look forward to seeing your results when you do start doing it. Yeah. I think I just need to be brave and go for it, you know?
You do. Get in there. It's the best way. Immerse yourself and start doing it.
And then get things going. Yeah.
So what are we going to be doing today? What are you going to be conjuring up for us today?
Yeah, I thought I'm going to just show my usual creative process and how I complete an image, and just go through it really, and then we can have a chat. I can find out more about you and the audience, and you can maybe find out some more about me too. And I'll just get going with a drawing. I've got to warn you, when I feel under, it's one of those things that when you're under pressure, the drawings don't turn out that well. So
there's no pressure here.
That's already up already.
No, there's no pressure. We're all friends here, and we're all on the sofa, pretty much. Anyway, I mean, I am actually in my studio, but my house is just over there, so I'm not that far from home.
That looks like a bookshelf.
This is a bookshelf. Yeah, with mad stuff on it, like things I make, like robots and whatever else.
Excellent. Yeah. Oh, yeah. There you go. What's that made out of? Is that wood?
No, it's 3D printed out of a form of plastic.
Excellent.
So it's good fun. But anyway, let's see let me have a quick scan of the chat here and just have a shout out to a couple of people as well. Ho Chi Wong is asking, Netflix Midnight what? It's Midnight Gospel. It's a series on Netflix, and it has some really deep and meaningful conversations inside of it, but in a fun way. It's very surreal, really good, and it's got space cats, by the way, if that helps. It's very funny. It is elements and also sad too.
It's almost done as a podcast with an animation.
It's an interview, but with an animation, sort of a background story going on in the background, which doesn't necessarily always relate to that. It's interesting.
Animation background with the cost.
Yeah, Gareth is saying After Effects equals Photoshop with a timeline. So there you go. So all of the things you'd normally expect to find in Photoshop, like layer blend, like blending modes, layer styles, all of that stuff, it's all in there.
So what would be the benefit of, why choose After Effects then over something like Adobe Animate,
Animate, that's a good. Well, it's I never think of these things as being mutually exclusive, because you can interoperate between so many things personally. So I think that, or my personal thoughts are, but I don't exclude them from each other.
Yeah.
But I would use animate if I was targeting something perhaps more for me, more for something destined for something like a website or whatever, because that would work. Although you can use it to produce animated movie content, so you know it's kind of difficult to answer that one. But what it does, it can export, or it can work within something called the canvas element, which is something that browsers understand. So
it's really easily transferable for a website, say. Well, Premiere Pro would, sorry, not
many
Premiere
different
Pro,
ways. Yeah.
Or After Effects would be more for just a video format.
Well, yes and no, because After Effects can do some of what Animate can do as well. So it's kind of tricky to answer, but and they both interoperate with Photoshop and Illustrator as well. So it's one of those things you'd need to explore a little bit of each and determine which was right for you, I think. And
there's always going to be, you know, I'm sure all of them are going to correlate in some way, but there's always going to be the benefits for, you know, dependent on the job at hand. There's always going to be certain benefits of each one.
And that's the thing, you know, you might, you know, if you do everything in Photoshop, that's like having a hammer and trying to do everything with that hammer.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah, rather than, you know, thinking, oh, well, actually, for this, there's a screw. I could use a screwdriver.
Use a chisel or a
exactly. Yeah. So, you know,
it's just bringing a sledgehammer and destroying everything.
Exactly. Well, you know, you know, I could theoretically, or we could. It's not me. We could theoretically carve wood with the sharper end of a hammer, but would that be the best use of that tool? And would it not take a disproportionate amount of time to do it? Whereas
when you have a Stanley blade at hand,
exactly, you know, so it's that. So let's have a quick look through here. So Caroline's saying, "Don't feel pressured." Absolutely, you don't need to.
Thank you.
Yeah, no, everybody's enjoying this. It's Richard is saying the gently literal but disconcertingly odd atmosphere of Alex's work reminds me a bit of the deadpan, everyday world of Glenn Baxter.
I need to check out Glenn Baxter. Is Glenn Baxter an illustrator?
Yeah, I don't know. Give us more information, Richard. That's fab. People are watching Countdown in the afternoons now, and Tim became a convert to 8 out of 10 Cats Does Countdown just a few weeks ago.
Is that Tim Mobest? Tim
Mobest, yeah.
Oh, is he? Yeah. So he's watching 8.
Excuse me, weeks. Yes.
Is it years? Is it? Oh, I'm sorry. Well, you just started playing the music in my ear while I'm working just a couple of weeks ago. But
is Jimmy Carr still presenting?
I think so. Yeah, I think
still going.
Yeah. I watched it the other night actually, so he was still there. But you never know these days if it's a rerun. Alex does indeed use AstroPad, Kirsty. That's what he's using at the moment.
AstroPad Studio. So I don't actually know the difference from that and the normal AstroPad, but I do find, it's good. It's good. So it's what you get used to at the very beginning. I find the smoother, but then you do get the hang of it. I think it's always the way if you change a tablet instead of going from like a Wacom, say, to an iPad. Yeah, you know that initial point of getting used to it's always there. You know.
So you're working on an iPad Pro at the moment, right?
That's it. Yeah.
You might want to. So when we had Naomi as a guest just a couple of weeks ago, she was doing the same thing, working with AstroPad. But if you're on Mac OS Catalina, you can actually use Sidecar to do the same thing.
Oh, really? So that's my $70 membership.
You can just push that into coffee.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Or, of course, other hot beverages are available.
Yeah.
But Kirsty's also saying she can't draw very well in Photoshop CC 2020, but it's a matter of practice, Kirsty. It's like photography. You get better at photography the more pictures you take. I know you take lovely pictures already. But yeah, the more you do, the better and the more self-analytical and critical you are of your stuff.
So, Kirsty, did you find it easier before to draw with the older versions of Photoshop? There's something changed which has made it slightly more difficult to do.
There you go. There's your question, Kirsty. So did you
Question
find
of
it
the day.
easier in an early version? No, that's a good question. And how much would a Tony chuck if he only had the sharp side of a hammer? We're easy-going on this stream. Looking over your work, love it. That's from Sean Cosell.
Thank you so much, Sean.
There you go. Stuart Fickling was just remarking on the voice from above. That was Tim just a moment ago.
Yeah, he's like the overseer, right? He's our ruler.
Tim is control. He's a vital component. He is the sun around which we all rotate. So the Glenn Baxter is really brilliant. I think he's inherently British. You either get it or you don't. Yeah, we are a bit like the way Sandrine, I think, possibly. So we can find out more about Glenn Baxter at glennbaxter.com. Oliver's saying about Sidecar, only Phil Mac is new enough to support it. That is indeed quite true. So let's see what else we've got here. Yeah, similar perspectives to Alex. So yeah, there we are. So that's our weekend homework there.
Yeah, that's great.
Alex.
Glenn Baxter. I'm going to write that
down.
I'll check him out as soon as I come off stream on research his work. And
yeah,
it's always good to find someone new that you can get some inspiration off. Or
absolutely,
you may find a new favourite.
I'm just going to remind our community here, don't forget, of course, if you're new, welcome. And we are here every weekday between 12 and 1. But the conversation doesn't have to end there. And of course, if you miss part of a show, you can catch it on the replay and join in the conversation on our Discord. And the link for that is just going into the chat now. Oh, no, it's waiting. It'll be there in a minute. Tim's toying with me today. There we go. We're talking. Oh, there it goes. And Caroline's asking you, Alex, how have you been coping in lockdown, and have you done any animations about the current situation?
I've done, not animations, no. I've done a few illustrations about it. I did it, especially at the beginning, when it was all when it was a new scenario to be in. But I think now it's become normality, really, and so maybe the inspiration to create something regarding the lockdowns dried up a bit, but I think actually definitely at the beginning it was something that inspired a few illustrations. Also
for illustrators it's not that different, is it? from normal.
Really, yes.
It's just that when you go out at lunchtime you're on your own.
I mean, I am on anyway, lunch or no lunch, yeah.
Michelle is asking, are you freelance, Alex? I think you are, aren't you?
I am, yeah. I've been freelancing, since I graduated, yeah. I think I have tried to get an agent before in the past, but I don't think it's necessary, So, and I think with my style of work, sometimes it is. I mean, I do editorial work, but sometimes clients who they don't want to take a risk with something that's maybe too edgy. That's the way, maybe a bit too edgy, or maybe a bit too. I wouldn't want to say distasteful, because I don't think it's that distasteful, but maybe a bit too grotesque. So for editorial work, I think they're like a cleaner style a lot of the time, and
they want to play it safe.
And play it safe. I think which is understandable, right? Because if you're going to be publishing something in a newspaper, the illustration is there to complement the article. It's not there to
dominate,
shock, or
There are a few AstroPad fans in here, though. There are a few people who use it as well. Let's scan back up just for a second. So is your typical workflow direct to screen, or do you sometimes work on paper and then scan that in and use that as a reference, or photograph it?
I usually do, yeah. I mean, I find that it can be more convenient just going
Oh, sorry, we lost you a minute there, Alex. Let's see if we get you back. We just lost you just for a moment there, Alex. Sorry.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you now. Sorry,
sorry.
It just dropped out for a moment. Sorry, you'll just have to say that again for us.
No, that's fine. That's fine. So I was going to say my usual, so method of working. Usually, I will just do it all on an iPad, sketch, and then I'll sketch on Fresco, say, and then put it into Photoshop and finalize it there. Just because I find it can be quite convenient just to do it via that. But there is something nice about holding on to the pen and paper method as well. So if I do get the chance, I will attempt to do it that way. Yeah. But
also, there's an undo.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
when you're on Fresco, you can.
And not on paper. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Everyone in chat, are you from sort of around all over the place, or you come?
We have got from all over the place. So we've got, like I said, we have Steve, who I haven't actually seen in the chat yet. I thought I did, but I haven't seen Steve. Just having a quick scan now. But Steve quite often joins us from New Zealand. We sometimes have Bob Demas, and he joins us from Tucson, Arizona.
Oh, Tucson, yeah. So
and he sets a 3:45 a.m. alarm.
Oh,
so
really?
he can catch the stream live. Yeah,
because this is Adobe Europe, isn't it? So the
UK,
US. Are they also doing a similar?
Yeah, they are. They are. They do. Well, I mean, they have a regular stream, a program anyway. But Rufus, at the beginning of this situation, Rufus, this is all down to Rufus. Rufus organised all of this. Made it all happen for everybody. And so we have the one in the UK that goes out between 12 and 1.
Yeah.
And between 11 and 12 German time, the German stream goes out. And then after the UK stream, there's the French stream.
Oh,
well. So we've got 3 going out. But we do get people who hop between some of those. I've never visited the French stream, but myself, Andreas, Sean, the Teamster, Andreas and Sean are here today, but we sometimes see the Teamster and a couple of other people. They visit the German stream as well, and one of the hosts and my friend Julia from the German stream, she pops in here as well from time to time. So we get from everywhere, really.
Yeah.
Cameron's in Glasgow. Just have a look at that. We've got people in Reigate, Surrey. Tim is from Germany. Tim's going, I'm right behind you. I'm in Germany. Stuart Fickling's in Cambridgeshire. Oh, Stuart, where are you in Cambridgeshire? There you are. Catherine can understand German, but spoken is very rusty. Not as rusty as mine. But there you go. Let's see. How many times did I check for Control Z on a piece of paper? It's crazy,
that's the danger. You start to get so
you do, you just think, oh, I'm just going to swipe or tap, and you think, actually, no.
Sometimes I'll try and manipulate the paper with my fingers, zoom in, and then realize that nothing's moving.
The limitation is your eyes. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Now, Gareth is from Manchester. Let's have a look. Come on, people, tell me where you are. And West Sussex, Switzerland. Marcel's joining us from Switzerland. Ely. Oh, right, okay. So a bit more out east than me. We don't just see snippets. No stream. There is actually no stream tomorrow. That's probably a good time to mention that. We're having a day tomorrow. No stream. There'll be no comments or anything on the on that, and we are doing that for Juneteenth. Now, just in case you don't know what Juneteenth is, it's a day that commemorates the effective end of slavery in the United States. And Adobe is giving everybody the day off tomorrow so that they can reflect and also advocate for the rights of all on this day. So there'll be nothing tomorrow, which is why we had the Tony Harmer show yesterday, just so you know. But yeah, no tomorrow, but we'll be back on Monday, and we've got a really, really full program for you next week too, and some surprises. We all like surprises. So they
Can you say who your guests are for next week?
I have not got the program, my timetable up in front of me just at the moment. So we've got Gavin back on Tuesday. I know that. But yeah, no, some of them are surprises as well. So
There's a mystery.
It's a mystery.
Yeah.
Let's go for some more locations just here because people have been dropping those in. So we've got Jackie from the Isle of Man. I mentioned Marcel's in Switzerland. We have Northamptonshire, not too far from me. Wigan. There we are. Jane's in Wigan. Sean's in Rheingau in Germany. Sean we were mentioning earlier. Alan is in Edinburgh. Michelle is in Swansea. And Sanjana is in India. Brian in Leeds. Fantastic. There you go. And Emma's just saying we do have our lovely Emma, is just saying we have great guests next week, but she wants to keep the surprises. And I haven't leaked anything because we already knew about Gavin. There we go. Gavin was with us on Tuesday, so it's Gav Tuesdays, which is really good. And Emma is actually in Munich at the moment from her new home in Munich. She's moved from, I think you were in Berlin before, weren't you, Emma? I can't remember now. You just move around so much. There you go. Ho Chi is in Stuttgart. I'm in Eton-Soken, Stuart. So effectively St. Neots, the St. Neots administrative area. That's where I am.
That's near Cambridge, you said, right?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, well, it's Cambridgeshire. It's just on the Cambridgeshire border, just over from Bedford. So about 10 minutes from Bedford.
And is everyone arranged? What does everyone do? Are you a range of different mediums, or are you mainly illustrators? Do you like to dabble in photography? Everyone.
We've got all sorts on here.
Animators.
All sorts. We've got animators. We've got film editors. We've got illustrators. We've got photographers. We've got designers. We've got generally interested parties. We've got students. We've got the whole range of people in the community. But it's getting really tight, which is lovely. In the Discord afterwards, there are people chatting throughout the day about the streams, and they're sharing tips and all sorts of other stuff. Really good. And you'll be pleased to know they all investigate the daily guests as well, and share and show more of their work. So
yeah, if anyone has any tips, actually, because I said earlier on that I use Photoshop I have a very select way that I do it, but it's pretty straightforward for me. But if anyone has any shortcuts on how to do things, I would be greatly appreciative of any tips.
Okay, there you go. So if you've got any tips, bring them forward. I just spotted something out of the corner of my eye. So Rai is telling us she is an edible print artist. Now, I'm assuming by that, Rai, you mean like 3D printing food, which I can remember trying that at the 3D print show a few years ago. I was at the 3D print show doing some demos 3D in Photoshop, and they brought round little fancies that had been 3D printed. Just amazing. Is that what you do? Tell us. That's incredible.
Yeah, really interesting. Does that almost be out of like a rice paper or?
No, they print from all sorts. So you could literally, so they've got big canisters with different food products in, and they just print different patterns that are and objects that are edible. It's incredible.
Anything can be printed. You're
anything
free to create what you could do. A Tyrannosaurus Rex.
Possibly, yeah. If it would hold it,
size, but maybe not. Yeah.
No. Well, I don't know. They 3D print buildings in Brazil and in other countries these days, so anything's possible. But you'd need a lot of chocolate for a Tyrannosaurus.
A lot of chocolate and a lot of flavor.
You would, but no, incredible. They were savouries and dessert things. Kirsty missed the news about tomorrow. So tomorrow, Kirsty, we are observing Juneteenth, which is an American day that celebrates or commemorates really the functional end of slavery in the United States. So we're having a day off for reflection on that tomorrow, but we will be back on Monday. Jackie is an illustrator and pattern designer. Stuart's an art worker and designer, and anything else that is thrown at me, I think that's very much the way of things for a lot of people. Sean is a photographer. Ho-Chi is an architect and illustrator / artist. Robert just does what he's done.
There all in one.
That is, isn't it? That's quite a rolling. Mind you, my friend Julia does exactly that. She studied architecture, but she's an amazing illustrator and designer. Incredible. And that knowledge she has from her
is her illustration very, very precise and detailed?
Not always, because she's an artist as well. So not always, no.
So maybe that's a chance to be really loose and liberal then, as a contrast to the architecture side of things.
That's great. I'm hoping that we'll get her on the UK stream at some time soon. That'll be really good. Photographer Robert says he does what he's told.
That's a good outlook, Robert.
Yeah. Sandrine is a graphic designer, but primarily a photo retoucher and compositor. Brian's asking if we're going to continue the streams after lockdown. I don't have an answer for that just at the moment, Brian. Let's hope so. That would be really nice, I think, but we'll just have to wait and see is all I can say. Rufus has done us an excellent job by getting this through this difficult time, but I guess, like all things, it will just need looking at, so we'll see. But for the moment, they'll be carrying on. So let's have a look what else we've got. Buckinghamshire, near Pinewood Studios. Printing food is awesome. It is. Right, we've got an answer from Rye. So she creates designs to be printed onto thin icing sheets, which are applied to bespoke cake creations. There you go.
Oh, great. Yeah, that makes sense. No, that seems a more logical answer for when you say I make
a more readily available thing. I mean, 3D food printing is right on the edge. So Alex, what are your default brushes? How many different brushes do you use, or do you have like just a handful that are your staple brushes?
I've recently got these. They're called Kyle's manga brushes, and I thought they're really great. Yeah, because I like to do quite sort of clean black thin lines.
Yeah,
so almost like it replicates a fine liner or a what would be another word, like a rotary pen.
Yeah, fine liner is exactly the word, I think. Yeah.
And then I can get closest to that. So if anyone also has any recommendations, I've recently been using these ones, and before I would use Space Ranger. It was a pack that you buy independent, so it wasn't the you have to go off and from one of the vendors. I mean, there are loads of different vendors out there for that. So Kyle joined the Adobe family in, if I remember correctly, 2017, and he's now on Rufus's team. He's a member of Rufus's team. Is he based in Europe, Kyle?
No, he's in the US. Kyle's in the US. At least I think so. I know he's not in Europe, but I can't remember if he's in the US or Canada. I can't remember, but or don't know. To be
I think he was formerly an illustrator, right, Kyle?
Yeah. Well, I guess he still is really, but his main day job now is working for and with Rufus.
And do you think does he still make a lot of brushes, and he's coming up with new?
Yeah. So he still does that. In fact, his spring collection came out just a little while ago. The way to discover them, Alex, and indeed everybody else, is when you've got the brush window open, you can go to the fly out menu, and you'll see a little link there that says get more brushes, and that will take you out to Kyle's brush page. So, and then you can pick them from there.
So you're an illustrator also?
Yeah, long time.
Yeah. And how's that
40
going?
years. I said 37. I said 37 when somebody asked me that question a while ago. My wife reminded me, it's actually 40 years. So,
40 years,
good Lord.
So have things changed? Have you changed your style over those years? Or?
Yeah, all the time.
Yeah, it's important, right?
Yeah,
to do so.
All the time. And of course, things were different when I started. There were no computers. They were something that were being talked about at the time.
So how did you get your name out there when you started?
I think I was just lucky because you had to wander around with a portfolio. You didn't have, you didn't have the advantage. There was no Instagram. There was no web.
Yeah.
There was nothing. You had to make creative. Yeah. I made a business card that involved a bit of paper engineering. So I had it printed and die cut, and essentially it was like a tent fold. So kind of this shape, like a triangle with a bend in it.
Yeah.
And it had an elastic band around it that pushed it out into that shape.
So it was almost like one of those 3D pop-out.
Yeah, it was a pop-out thing. And what it had, so this is it from the side. It would go like that and fold in like that, right? So at that point, the elastic band was under pressure.
Yeah.
The minute you took it out of the envelope, it expanded so that the pressure was off it. But along the top, so coming round to this way round, behind that sort of V shape, so it was a cartoon of me, but then, or of a person, and a brain full of ideas burst out of the top of it.
Yeah.
And it was novel.
Creative explosion. Yeah.
Yeah. And I got to pitch on some government stuff, for some government departments, and that kind of kept me going for a long time. And then I worked for Mars for a bit.
You can see how it would catch people's eye, because it's quite a unique way, or a unique business card, right?
Start with a few people.
yeah. It sounds like it could be a booby trap. Yeah,
it's a little bit. But it was hard back in the day. Hard.
Yeah, I think maybe this generation, I mean to be more appreciative of how easy it is for people to access our work. Yeah. Well,
do you know what? I mean, I would be the last person to say something like, you kids today, you don't know you were born. One, because that would make me sound and feel much older than I actually am still in here.
Mm.
But here's the thing. So back in those days, there were less people doing it, and it was less accessible because you had to go.
You would need to kind of go out and find the information about the industry itself. It's hard to come across other illustrators.
Yeah, right? Exactly. Yeah, and so these days, I actually think it's harder now than it was then, because it is so competitive,
saturated as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And you've got so many people doing this, and it is much more accessible. Effectively, you could get a computer, spend a little while learning a bit of Photoshop, and theoretically,
you could then claim to be an illustrator.
You could. Yeah.
That's pretty much me there.
But you're producing evidence to show that you are an illustrator. That's a different thing, and you're using skill. So you know. But I think that's harder for you. I think it is harder. Not your skills. I mean to actually get yourself out there, because there's so much noise.
Yeah, no, that's true, right? Yeah, that's it. There's so many, it is so saturated now, and there's so many. I think it's similar with other professions as well, like music. It's so easy to find other.
Well, look at sampling in music.
Yeah.
Sampling and over-referencing, but
then do you think it could help in a way as well, because there's so much more? It's so easy to find illustration now or art on the web, say, that this could then generate new ideas. Or...
Yeah, I think you have something there. And I mean, remixing and innovating with things that have been there before, and taking mixtures of styles from the past and whatever, and adding a new edge to them. Yeah, that is how things move forward. But I just think it's difficult because, and also I think there are some people who feel that if they basically evaluate their self-worth based on how successful they are on social with their work. I mean, and I think that's really sad.
A lot of clients will do that as well. So it's also the artists themselves, and also the clients. I think it's one of those things that it's sad, but naturally we're more drawn. We almost have more faith. If you see something as a big following, say, you have more kind of trust in looking upon something that has the bigger following, say, to the smaller following. But
it's erroneous, right? Because you can buy followers. You can do it. You can do a whole load of things. So it doesn't. And I think it was Gavin actually that was said. In fact, we've had a few people that have said, that you shouldn't ever evaluate yourself as a person or professionally based on what you do in social. It's
absolutely not. No.
Yeah, you know, it's a, you know, not a healthy way to.
It definitely has its benefits. You know, it allows you to have an online gallery, and also you can find other artists for it. But then it also has its downturns as well. And
you have to keep a perspective on it, I think.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. Find a balance.
Yeah. We've got a few more things on people are doing. Yeah, so some people. So Kirsty's saying, Control J, copy a background layer, and you're a photographer. There you go. And someone else had a little down on that conversation that was going on earlier. Corey's saying, sorry I'm late. Corey, you don't have to be sorry you're late. It's fine.
Corey,
you can always watch the replay to catch up. Yeah, come on, what time do you call this? But no, it's fine. Don't forget, you can always catch up on the beginning bit, and you can chat to everybody right now. As you can in our Discord later on. There you go. I'm playing Beat Tim to the Discord thing today. Catherine started out as a theatrical makeup artist and moved over to the dark side.
I'd imagine the theatrical makeup, that sounds like it's a difficult kind of canvas to apply your work on, right? I'm guessing that's a face you'd be working off.
It would, yeah. So, well, here's the funny thing, right? So this is a very odd thing. One of my daughters, Chloe, is a theatrical makeup artist, but she's actually coming to work here from next Monday. She starts here next Monday in my studio.
She's doing a stream.
No. She's working for my company. Not.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Not from in here. Yeah. So
is she making the change, or is it a temporary thing, or is she?
No, she's making a change. She wants a different challenge, so she's going to learn some.
I think when I work under the pressures of theatrical makeup, it should be quite a smooth transition. Then to go into, we should be going more into illustration, or design.
Well, she's going to be doing camera operation actually, just at the moment to start off with. But her CV's hilarious because it's got pictures of people from game launches that are zombies and all sorts of other things. Yeah. She was in World's End actually. You know that Sean Pegg film. She was actually in that as well as working on that. Yeah. Only background, but
did World's End, did that have zombies in it, or that? No, Shaun did.
No, that was Shaun of the Dead. Yeah. No, World's End. I don't think that's. Yeah, World's End's not in the Cornetto trilogy. So, Carrie's saying, not a creative professional, something you'd like to get into, doing as a hobby. I've got more of a photography background, going into the motion graphics side. Well, that's cool. And the streams, quite a few of the streams are helpful with that. Carrie, that's something to get into there. Art and illustration is more of a hobby, but I'd love to do it professionally. Caroline works in a print shop at the moment, but she wants to do art and illustration more professionally.
It's one of those things. I think it's just you get to get down and just create as much as you can, just to get started in it and be on it all the time.
Yeah, absolutely. Tim will also post a link to your website as well into the chat, if you don't mind, Tim, so people can check out more of your work later on. There's some great stuff in there, really great. What would be your dream commission? What would really super excite you?
A cartoon series of some sort. A running series. Yeah, that'd be amazing.
I get
so one day.
Yeah. I think it's early days, right? You've got.
Yeah, I think it's achievable for everyone. I think you just need to. It's one of those things like, if you look at it now and you'd be like, oh God, that's so daunting, the idea of creating a series. But I think more you delve into a practice and you just find out more information, things start to kind of link up a bit more, and you can find a way of how it could be possible, More to kind of learn the industry a bit more. But one day. I'm not giving up on it anyway.
No. Well, that's the thing. Never give up.
Yeah.
Never give up. Let's have a quick look through some of these, see if we've got any. Appeared as print brochures, postcards, giveaways, exhibition designs, event, in-house. That's fast turnover stuff. That's good. It's good for variety, for looking at variety. There we go. Robert says, I remember seeing Tony's Punch and Judy show at Bognor Regis in the 70s. Come on, Robert. And Kyle's summer brushes will be out soon. Fantastic. I wish to bring back the mermaid challenge. Did you ever see that with Kyle's brushes?
No, what was that? The mermaid brushes.
So he created a set of mermaid and undersea themed brushes, and they had a little drawing challenge called the Mermaid Challenge to do these mermaids. So they were great, and I loved that brush set. I've still got it. It's really good. Knocking on doors was literally the way actually that you would go out and get work. Back in the day,
and postage as well. Lots of postage.
Stuff
off in the post,
yeah.
Well, the options limited as well. You know, if you wanted to do editorial illustration, you had your. I mean, was there less magazines then? I suppose there would be more in a way.
No, there were more. There was more print stuff. It was really hard to get through the door though, and you'd have to, you know.
I'm just getting shown. This is. I've got here. Sorry. I've got a live drawing of myself that's been completed, and it's very impressive. Thank you so much.
Oh, is that from Robert?
Yeah.
Thanks,
Robert. Yeah.
Is it Robert or no, Richard? Richard. Sorry.
I can't see the name there.
Yeah. Wild Yorkshire.
Yeah, Richard. Thank you so much, Richard.
Awesome. Wow. Let's have a look. Scan through here. Hours in a library looking for inspiration. Yes. Back when we used libraries for inspiration.
It's still a really good source of inspiration. I think
it is. It is.
Go back to it, you know. Yeah.
Yeah.
Got a wealth of material.
I also, I don't know about you, but when I'm looking for stuff, I tend to reach for magazines, you know, industry magazines first, like the Quarterly from the Association of Illustrators, and then I look at computer arts. Not computer arts, sorry, communication arts from the US and a few others. Reach for those first.
Quite a good one. I think they have a magazine called Printed Pages, which is a good one.
Yeah.
For sort of upcoming in illustration. And
no, always good to look through that. And it's just that way you don't get the distractions that you do if you're looking on the internets.
That's it, yeah.
Because things don't pop up and you sort of think, oh, I'll look at that. And next thing you know, you've wasted an hour looking at somebody's dinner.
You've gone down a wormhole.
Yeah, absolutely. And yet people do try to, so Angus is saying people try to pinhole or pigeonhole you too much too, and they do. And that's not, you know, that's.
Would that be in regards to.
Wrong problem. Well, with illustration, you know, they'll see just. There used to be a thing where people would maybe look at the first 2 or 3 things, pieces of your work, and I mean, normally you'd stack your portfolio in that way. You'd try and make your best impact in the first 2 or 3, but then they can't switch off. So
you're forever judged going off your first.
Yeah, they won't look at you again because you know they.
So I wonder if it's encouraged for you to keep a consistent style throughout, or is it good to, you know, try lots of different things?
I think you should always try different things.
Try different things and always try and move yourself on.
I think so, yeah. I mean,
yeah.
If you've got a successful formula that works for you, don't change it until you need to.
But,
you know, but I know a few people that
slightly alter it and find new ways of continuing it, but keeping, and it's sort of an essence there that was originally there. Or, you know,
I think you find that with an evolution. I think if you go wildly different, you know. But I know a few people who've got really distinctive styles, like super, super distinctive.
Yeah.
You'd spot their work a mile away. And they're quietly experimenting with other things. Illustration, and they're quietly doing different things, yeah.
Ooh.
Okay, looking at where they go next. So, yeah, it's tough out there. Yeah, it's job titles that only showed up over the last decade. True.
Mm-hmm. What programs do you mainly use?
I use Illustrator more than anything else, really. But I use Photoshop.
What would you say? What are the benefits of using Illustrator over Photoshop? What would be your?
Pardon me. Scalability.
Yeah. So that's the main. That is that's what I would think as well. You know.
Yeah. Yeah. Scalability and the ability to actually dive down to an element level.
Yeah.
From there. Yeah. Kirsty's sad about the world the way it's going on at the moment. Well, I think I agree, Kirsty. It is there are a lot of things to be to be reflective about. I wouldn't say sad. I think to be reflective about, but I would focus more on being optimistic about what can come out of the other side with us all reflecting. Let's try and all I would suggest that perhaps it's a good idea to reflect and keep talking to people, and that's how we affect change together, right? That's maybe an approach that you might want to do. So don't be sad, be reflective. Yeah, you can be a bit angry as well. There's nothing wrong with being a bit angry, yeah, about some of the things that are going on at the moment, but don't internalize it. Keep it.
You said these streams have been really helpful for you as well, you know, just to keep during this. And you felt a lot of benefits from them. I'm sure the audience as well. Maybe not my one, but everyone else's.
Yeah, no, it's. I think I'm optimistic about what the future could hold, you know, because I'm hoping that because so many people are rightly outraged about the way things are, and that it's gone on for too long.
Yeah,
things need to change. I'm really optimistic that we may actually see some, so that's good. But I don't want anybody feeling sad and feeling alone with it. I think you should just keep talking to people. That's the thing.
And communicating, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Corey watched the replays from Monday and Tuesday and found them fantastic. That's excellent. Gavin, who was with us, don't forget, on Tuesday, will be back next Tuesday to carry on his piece of work. There.
What does Gavin do?
So Gavin Campbell is an illustrator. He does a lot of products related work. He does do quite a bit of editorial as well, thinking about it.
So he'd be sort of an illustrator / graphic designer.
Yep. He's as he would tell you, he does a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
He's but his main thing is illustration and interface exploration. He's the one who's got who loves his panels spread out, which is, you know, each to their own, which is good. It works for him. So let's have a look. We're talking about makeup ladies there. The 100 days drawing challenge. Wow. I've never completed the 100 days challenge. I've always got to about day 30 and then I've got really busy. Have you ever done that?
No,
100 days.
A completed drawing every day.
Yeah.
Is that what it would be? You could do a sketch.
Yeah, you do a drawing, and well, you just leave it wherever you feel like leaving it, and then you post it, and you post one a day. Yeah.
I've never taken one on officially, but I think I draw every day as it is.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah. And Inktober is another one that I like. Inktober very much. That's really good. And the lettering challenges as well. So there's like, what is it, 36 days of type, isn't it? 37 days of type. Can't remember now. Whatever the alphabet plus the numbers is. So it's 36 days of type. Sisters of Mercy, my word. So I'm just getting some random references out here and they just came spilling out of my face. But
What's Sisters of Mercy?
Sisters of Mercy are a band from a long time ago.
Were they a glam rock band or?
No.
They sound quite heavy.
Much more punk.
Yeah.
Than that. Much more. Yeah. Rick and Morty. There's an element of Rick and Morty in your work as well, I think. Do you watch Rick and Morty?
I do. Yeah. I did something 4 months before. It was just a T-shirt design. So I have worked with.
Oh, cool.
Adult Swim and those guys. Yeah. But it was only briefly. But I think they'll definitely be an inspiration. Or I've definitely had comparisons to them before.
Yeah. Well, there you are.
That sort of cartoonish style, right?
Yeah. So who influences you maybe the most, Alex? Who would you say were big influences on your choice?
God, yeah,
to do what you do and to.
So when I was younger, I think it'd be the ones who kind of got me into illustration would be it's like Robert Crumb.
Yeah.
Robert Crumb was a big one who got me into it. Yeah, and going off that, I used to really like the more kind of classical artists, or you know, who would fit in the genre more of fine art would be Goya.
Yeah.
There was a couple of German guys. There was Otto Dix.
Yeah.
The other one. There's one. Did Otto Dix? Did he do the War series one?
Was it Otto?
There's another one. God, I can't remember. Under the Pressure now. There's 3 of them that I really like. Otto Dix. you know which one I mean? He did a series. It was from the trenches, and they were etchings.
Not, I vaguely do, but it's not surfacing for me either. Just at the moment.
But those guys anyway. The American painter.
Yeah,
I really like. God, I can't think of the others now. There's lots more.
But mainly from the world of art.
Yeah. Who else can I think of? But yeah, I really like that. Those comics from the 70s as well, and the 60s. Those adult comics. Yeah, that's it. Fat Freddy's Cat. Yeah.
That was my favourite.
They had the three guys who looked after the cat, didn't they? The three brothers, the amigos.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
I used to love that Fat Freddy's Cat. Yeah. In fact, one of the end panels from one of those is still lodged firmly in my mind.
Yeah, is it quite rude?
The one with the headphones. Wait until you put on your stereo headphones. That was
yeah. Was it quite controversial at the time?
Yeah. It was banned for a little while in the UK.
And then you had things like Viz that followed on from the UK after, right?
I worked on a comic called Gasworks Gang at the time. There were only 3 issues of Gasworks Gang, and then Viz were just surfacing at that time. I remember at a punk gig, our stuff was being sold there, and Viz first surfaced there as well. So
you got an early glimpse into the beginnings of Viz.
Yeah, I worked with them actually. I worked with them in the 90s on a project for Sky.
Really? Yeah.
Yeah, and it was Sky, Carling, and Viz.
Worlds collide. Yeah. When worlds collide.
It was interesting. I've got it. It's here. It's in here somewhere.
Was it a billboard or was it an advertisement?
No, it was a small booklet. It was around the Premier League, hence the bit from Carling. But it was in support of Comic Relief and Sport Relief, because I was a consultant for Comic Relief for a couple of years.
Yeah. So what did you create on them? Did you kind of help tie it all together and do like the?
I drew all the cartoons. I drew there was a centre spread cartoon of a football pitch, and as a backdrop for some Viz cartoons. So I drew the cartoons.
Did you have to kind of match Viz's style?
Yeah.
So you changed your style just for as you're working with them.
I had to emulate their style for some of it. There was some of my own stuff in there as well, but largely I had to emulate their style.
So a bit like a Beano.
Yeah, that kind of thing. Yeah, very much that. Yeah, very much that. A lot of people are loving the streams and hoping they go on, and they're going to be missed when people get pulled back into the office. Well, let's see. Who knows what might happen?
You could do an evening stream, say.
Maybe.
To kind of catch people still.
It is all in the hands of the mighty Rufus. And Rufus can only do what he can do. But Rufus has always got the community's back. That's the thing. And he really has. I've known Rufus for about 15 years. And he's always been excellent, with always really, really community minded. So there you go. That's my bromance moment with Rufus. There we are. Still people saying they love the streams. They're loving what you're doing. It's 36 days of type. Thank you. Jane managed 33 days. Yay. Yeah, people are creating more watching these sessions. This is the great thing, Alex, with these. You'll be doing what you're doing now. People will be looking at what you're doing, and then they'll be taking it away, and
Yeah, that's great. I mean, I do the same. When you watch someone else create, I think you can go away and you feel it pushes you to go and do your own thing.
Yeah. Oh, I've just found where the Sisters of Mercy reference came from. By the way, it's because of World's End. It's in World's End. Yeah. It was Otto Dix. Yeah, series of wounded soldiers. It was Otto. Yeah, for some reason.
Thanks for that. Whoever discovered that.
That was Sandrine.
Thanks, Sandrine.
There we go. Do you like TARDIS? Yes, I like TARDIS. Do you like TARDIS, Alex?
Is that a band, TARDIS?
No, it's Doctor Who.
I thought that's what I thought. I thought the TARDIS, and I thought maybe it's
Yeah, no, it's Doctor Who.
Do I like Doctor Who? I think I missed a lot of Doctor Who. I was a bit too when it had its real big boom in the 70s, right, or the 80s.
I think it's actually more popular now than it
really?
Was then. I can be in a TARDIS in a click. Here goes, click. Yeah. Oh no, it didn't work. There it is. So now I'm in a TARDIS. There you are.
Time traveling.
Yeah, absolutely. I could be in an older TARDIS. Doof, just like that. There we go.
There you go. Yeah.
And now stop being in the TARDIS. By the way, if you want your own TARDIS background or other BBC set backgrounds, the BBC made them all available a while ago. So
Really?
yeah, loads of them, loads of really popular things. So like Only Fools and Horses and loads of
Was
other.
that BBC Only Fools and Horses? Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Originally, yeah. I mean, that's a long while ago now. But yeah, do you remember the League of Gentlemen?
Yeah, that was great. Yeah,
Yeah, there's some of
That's a
those
bit like
sets are
Viz,
available.
League of Gentlemen.
Yeah, yeah.
And you get, yeah.
Royston Vasey.
Mm.
Yeah, but that
There's
set,
the
some of those
noses, right?
sets are available. Yeah,
Yeah.
local shops for local people. Yeah, the old fanzine mags. That was the thing back in the day. See, this is an education for you, Alex. You're meant to be sharing with us. But
No, yeah. I'm learning far more from you guys.
it's very
Thanks.
good. It's a two-way thing.
Yeah, that's what I was hoping for, actually.
Yeah, no, it's good. Yeah. Carola is loving Alex's work.
Oh, thank you so much.
There you go. Yeah. A couple of TARDIS-based things. And this is the thing people like most. They like just the chat, going backwards and forwards and watching someone work. Because it feels more like you're, I guess it feels more like you're just there, which is really good.
Yeah. Just working at home. It's like you guys are all my conscience.
There you are.
Yeah.
The chatter, the background chatter that goes on while you draw. Absolutely. That's shaping up really nice now. It's
like I have deep internal conflict while everyone, you guys are all talking in the background.
things. Yeah. Banter.
Yeah.
That's what we're getting. Yeah. It's a multidisciplinary experience. But no, it's just great to see a piece of work emerge, you know. Really good.
Sorry, it was a bit of a rush job, really, but it was just to give you
great.
an idea. This is kind of the way I would do it anyway, but usually I'd probably take more time with it and it'd be a slower process of how I'm doing it. But that is the kind of the steps I would take anyway, you know, laying down your rough. Yeah. Pretty standard, I think, for everyone else. And then I like to use the like a finer pen, and I think these manga brushes, as I said, they replicate like a fine liner or a Rotring well, because it's like the thin line. I'll go over the top of it, and then I'll start to fill with colour, and then I'll shade. And I do usually shade. I have a way it gives quite a grainy texture.
Yeah.
But last night, for some reason, I noticed that the shading, the sensitivity isn't working the same way as it used to.
Right. And what the brush pressure?
Yeah. But before, you had the cursor and it changes size when you tap it down.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure what that is there. So
it depends on the brush, because some brushes it doesn't really give the
it was
full
the air brushes, which always used to do that. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I'll have a look and see if I can find out, or if Tim knows if there's anything around brushes at the moment. Of course, the new versions of our beloved apps came out yesterday. I say our beloved apps, not that are in the Adobe sense, but are in the community sense. Came out yesterday. Have you updated any yet? Are you going to update?
Updated Photoshop yesterday. Yeah.
Yesterday, yeah. So, but no, some good stuff in there. Good stuff.
And did all the iPad apps as well? Did they all update too?
Yeah, so Photoshop on the iPad did a little update. Fresco has little updates all the time. Fresco, so there's always things popping into Fresco. But yeah, I think it was across the board, I believe. And we'll be looking at a few of those next week, I think, taking a couple of looks. Gary Larson. Oh, Richard Bella's just mentioned Gary Larson. Are you familiar with Gary Larson cartoons, The Far Side?
No, let me have a look at him now. I'll have a look afterwards. Gary Larson.
Have a look after Gary Larson. Yeah, Larson.
So it sounds like a Scandinavian name, Larson.
Larson. He was American, but he's or is still around. He did the most fabulous series of cartoons. Really. So
Gary
funny.
Larson, and there was the Glenn
Baxter.
Glenn Baxter.
Glenn Baxter and Gary Larson. Yeah.
Great.
Yeah. I have an anthology of Gary Larson cartoons over on bookcase nearest the door. There's a whole load there, and I've got some of the short form ones as well. They're really you've got to check them out. They're really good. Very nerdy, but really good.
Oh yeah, I am aware of these. Yeah, I do. Yeah. I've seen this stuff before.
I love your assistant just handing things through to you. That's awesome.
Water, no. Drink.
There we go. Oh, what have we got here? Align to key objects. Yep, I like align to key objects. I think it's really good. Maybe I missed the earlier bit there, Gareth, so I'll have a look in just a second if I can. Always updating, and that's the great thing. You know, back in the day, I can remember a time, maybe around 7 years ago, when this all changed and we get these regular updates. Before, it used to take, you know, sometimes 18 months before you got new stuff. That's the way it was before. But yeah, Sandrine wants you to join us in the Discord later, Alex, if you can.
Yeah, what's that?
Well, Discord is a chat platform used quite a lot by gamers, but we use it too.
So it's like a live stream chat where everyone can join in the chat there.
Yeah, join in the chat. Yeah. There's voice chat as well, but I don't know anybody that uses that.
What time are you on?
We're on 24 hours a day on there, so people chat throughout the day. Typically, I visit for a while after the stream, as does Tim and Rufus. But I think Tim is almost ever present. In fact, I do wonder sometimes if Tim actually is Discord. Sort of a physical manifestation of it.
Yeah.
It's like Skynet.
Yeah, it's great. Yeah. The T1000, the Tim 1000.
Tim 1000. There you are. Yeah. Oh wow. Yeah. And actually, that was the thing with older versions of the Adobe tools. You had to buy platform-specific versions, and they had to be shipped all over the world. Tons of cardboard, tons of discs, all of that gone. Great world we live in now.
What was the cardboard for? Is that the
boxes? Because you get it in boxes. Yeah.
Oh, and the CD packets.
Yeah, and the manual. You think about all the tree that was involved in all that stuff.
Now the cloud, it's ever omnipresent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you tried it? Are you using cloud documents yet? Are you using that?
I haven't used that yet. Cloud document.
It depends if you work. I mean, do you just mainly work on one machine, or do you work between machines?
No, the iPad. I mean, I use Dropbox usually. Right. That would be my thing to transfer between my iPad. I can AirDrop between the iPad and the Mac, which then feed through to Photoshop. Yeah.
Oh, I'd have a look at it then. Have a look at cloud documents, because you can also share links to those so people can comment on them. So if you're without having to do the whole link between that and Dropbox, so you can send people a link to your cloud document. Yeah. And they don't need Creative Cloud or anything. They just need a browser, and they can go through versions. So they can look through versions if you want to give different iterations.
Excellent.
Yeah. Have a look.
Just a really quick and convenient way of getting your stuff across and getting
super fast. Yeah. Super fast. And you're not doing anything different to the way you'd normally work, really. Yeah. I since they came around for Photoshop first off. I've used them while I've got a project that's live, and then as soon as the project is no longer live, then I bring it down to storage and just remove it from the cloud. Yeah. But the great thing is you can have it. So if you were traveling and working, you can have a synchronized version that's on your machine while you're working. So just take a look.
Yeah.
It's worth.
So on the go, it's really useful as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
That sounds great. Yeah, I'll check that out.
This just seems to have suddenly popped into a world of color now. How do you go about choosing your palette? How do you? Do you have a method for?
Usually, I think I naturally go for certain. I don't know what it is, but I like to draw sort of desert scenes, which you can see here, which is what I've always actually gone for. And so I like with a desert scene, I like to go for like deep reds, kind of hot colors, warm colors. So that will always be my thing that I'll go for anyway. Yeah. But often, I'll probably, if I'm a bit stuck for color, I'll look online. Someone once told me a good tip. Actually, he said if you want to go for good color palettes, then look at these custom-made trainers or sneakers if you're in America. Yeah. And see the colors that they use on there, because usually they're going to be the ones that that complement each other really well. So if you want to do something with that's vibrant and lots of different colors on there, look at custom trainers, and then get the colors that they use off that. Right. With your eye drops all, and then away you go.
Quite often designed with a harmony in mind. Oh, Julia's here. Hello, Julia. My friend Julia's here.
Hi, Julia.
Come along to have a look. There you go. Julia's work is amazing. Absolutely amazing.
Are you an illustrator, Julia?
She is. She is. She's an artist and an illustrator. Yeah, and Julia's saying she sees some Mobius influence here in your work as well.
I'm a big fan of Mobius.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, it's what he can create, and his like sense of like perspective and scale is amazing. You know, the kind of the angles that he can capture things from, and the detail he puts in. Yeah, there you go. Yeah. That's a chunky Mobius book right there.
That is. So this is from an exhibition that Julia and I went to in Brühl in Germany.
Excellent. Yeah.
Last year. Just incredible stuff.
Yeah, I think I've seen that one before actually. Yeah. I don't know, like, you know, how you can even how you could map that out in your brain, you know, and the scenes where it's like it could be something where something's flying down into like a valley of an abandoned city, say, and the scale that he's able to, you know, illustrate in the image.
Yeah, absolutely.
Scale and
I'll tell you what, though, the time has flown because we've actually gone not only over our hour, but we've gone over our allotted 10 minutes.
Sorry,
people
guys.
also, you know, so no, me. I'm the one who's supposed to be watching the clock. So we are pretty much done for today. Shall we have a zoom out and have a look at where you've got to, Alex? Any last words for everyone today?
Well, thank you so much, guys, for coming along. It's much appreciated, and thanks for the opportunity for me to sit down and draw with everyone.
That's been fantastic. It's been really lovely having you, and hopefully you'll come back and see us at some point in the future. So just to wrap up, everyone, don't forget the Discord carries on from here, so join us on Discord. Tomorrow, no stream. We're observing Juneteenth. Okay, we're Adobe are giving every employee the day off tomorrow so that they can reflect and advocate for the voices of all of us, okay, across the world. So we'll be back, though, on Monday. I know we've had an extra 10 minutes today. I don't see any complaints, though. But until then, bye, everybody. Take care. Thanks again, Alex.
Thanks so much. Cheers, guys.
Thanks,
mate. Cheers.
Bye.